Hey, loves, how are you? There is definitely an energy of the calm before the giant wave comes in. And when I feel into this energetically, it does feel like a big transformative planetary energy. Not exactly sure how it's going to play out, but you may be feeling that energy in essence in your own life as individuals. Some of the themes that have been coming around also connected with this theme is you may be getting clear, direct guidance on the next steps for you to take for whatever you're working on or dreaming about or, focusing your energy on. You might be getting those steps to take, and you may find that when you're out in the world or you're really putting those next pieces into place, that things just are not flowing. It might be like websites aren't working or people aren't responding to your messages or it's just kind of these like little glitchy things like you're dealing with a company but they don't have a phone number so you can't call anybody to get the help that you need. Just weird things like that. It might be that you're trying to do a list of things. Let me know if you guys have ever experienced this, where you have a list of to do things, you have the time and space, and you try to go do them and they're just not flowing. Usually, I have gone through this and I take this as a sign that now is not the time. Go chill, go relax, take a break, focus on something else. Let the higher energies work on clearing your path for you over the next few hours, days, or whatever. But if you are able to drop into that and allow yourself to focus on something else when something's not flowing, it'll get to be worked on, in the background. I'm bringing this up too because there's also that energy sometimes where that frustration builds and then we feel almost like suffocated or trapped, or the energy of suppression comes up really strong in our system, like that feeling of feeling held back or blocked by things outside of our control. And that kind of connects back with yesterday's messages. And so when that happens, it can be really important to drop into more of your own neutral energy. And it seems around this current full moon, these energies seem to be really strong right now. And it's connecting with that kind of calm before the big wave. It's almost like it's almost like imagine a room got completely emptied out and the lights were turned off and then it sat there in the dark. And then all of a sudden, a whole group of people come in, set up a party, have a jam. And then, you wouldn't even imagine a few hours ago that it was empty. These messages are coming across really strange today. I'm just going to acknowledge that because it feels like how the energy is. I've tried to record this multiple times, and it seems like even within these messages, I start to feel sidetracked or kind of taken down a little bit of a rabbit hole. And usually my analogies tie back in. And not that there was anything wrong with that one, but it felt awkward to my system. So I'm just going to acknowledge it. I've re-recorded this multiple times with different messages, and I'm not going to do it again. This is what you're getting because clearly this is the energy that we're in right now. And so that's another part of me just acknowledging what it is. Like earlier, I kind of thought it was me, but now I'm seeing, no, it's just the energy that we're in. Some things are just not flowing in the sense or the way that we would normally have them flow when we're in our own zone. I'm going to light us a little bit of Palo Santo just for, yeah, I can kind of feel the pressure, the internal pressure, the frustration, moments of the anxiety. So, what I want to do is just bring in a few moments of just centering. Just allow yourself, no matter what you're doing. You can do this even if you're driving your car. Take a nice, gentle, deep breath down into your heart and into your belly. inviting your true energy and essence home to your heart. Any of those places or spaces where your energy has been thinking about this or that, or all of these things on your to-do list, I would like you to retract and recall and retrieve all of those parts of your energy and essence and invite them back home to your heart. You can even envision points of light, points of your light coming back into your heart, into your body, like the whole core of you is a magnetic energy, and you're just inviting all of those thoughts back home. Because when we have our energy on a lot of different thoughts in a lot of different directions, that pulls our energy out of the present and out of the current alignment. And your most powerful presence is in the present moment. That's the most powerful place for your energy to be, with what's present right now. And sometimes there's circumstances that are out of our control, right? You can't force somebody to respond to your message. You can't force someone to go to work. You can't force a company apparently to have a phone number and a customer service care. Well, and then you realize that's not a company that you want to do business with, correct? Okay, there we go. Enough said. Lesson learned, right? It seems to be happening a lot these days. That's why I'm bringing it up. It's very fascinating. So, with that said, you just allow yourself to be with what's present, because there are a lot of things externally we just have no control over. And so it can feel frustrating when we're used to things being a certain way, or we would like to get the support that we need so we could move forward on our steps. But what I have found is it's helpful to step back, and it's twofold. What inside of me is not used to getting the level of support that I'm requiring. And then I provide that support to myself in the best way possible. Right? Number one. And then number two, that what you're going for or working towards may not be the right match, or it might be. Maybe people just need some space and grace to get things together. Either way, during the time while you're waiting for that answer, you focus on providing for yourself whatever it is that you need in those moments. What they're reminding me of is back in the day, I would have different things that I would want to do, but I was very focused on work-oriented types of things. And when things would be clicking and clacking and flowing, like it would be easy for me to feed myself well and exercise and go run my errands. It was like I'm kind of good at multitasking. Sometimes it's almost like the more I have going on, the more I can flow with it. Not always, but a lot of the times I'm good at that. But if something starts to feel stopped up, it would almost make everything else feel stopped up. Like if I felt like I couldn't get the traction I wanted in one area, you would think, okay, so go feed yourself, go to the gym, go for a walk, call your friend that you haven't talked to in a year, like do the other things on your to-do list that you put on the back burner. But what I've sensed is that maybe there's some of you who are finding when something's not moving forward that you get frustrated and then everything stops. Okay. And I just want to bring your awareness to this, not in judgment, because, hey, I've done it. I've done it. Okay. It happens. And in a way, it's because our system starts to feel frozen. And so that's where you can acknowledge that. Okay. I feel stuck. I feel frozen. And yes, there's external circumstances that are creating that sensation and that experience in your system. But it's up to you in that moment to allow yourself to break out of that system and to break out of that freeze mode and to allow yourself to thaw out and move forward in the other areas. Okay. And it doesn't mean we're ignoring that part. It's just letting it simmer over there. Let that thaw out over there, that part of you, while you're focusing on the other pieces of what you need to do for you. Okay. I also sense there's some of you that are the type of people who, like, if somebody needs something for you or you have responsibilities, you make it happen and you get it done. And so sometimes you come up against these walls where you're working with others who aren't operating in the same energy, and then your system can get frustrated with that. But I also want to acknowledge that sometimes on the other side, people are going through things that are much bigger of a priority in their life than maybe what's a priority for you. And it is not to put down whatever is important to you. It's just also kind of remembering, like, hey, I might want to get this done, but this person might have like a sick mom at home that I have no idea about. Or, they might have just found out their best friend isn't what, it could be a million things, a million distractions for why they're not able to show up in the way that you're needing them to in that moment. But like I said, again, take it back to your core, right? What can you do in those moments to support yourself, and using it as an opportunity to strengthen yourself, to strengthen your ability to bounce back from frustration, or to bounce back. It's like that bounce back factor. Okay. What's important when I say this bounce back factor, I'm not talking about icing it off and forgetting it or pretending it doesn't exist. Because if we freeze it deeper or shut it off, that actually doesn't help us bounce back faster in the long run. Okay. I'm talking about, okay, that is up. It's frustrating. What else can I do to support myself? All right. This feels really layered the deeper I get into it, but I don't want to go down too many rabbit holes, even though I could, if you guys can't tell. I'm going to leave it right there. Hopefully, this brings some support to you today, especially if you've been feeling any forms of frustration. I know that feeling those frustrations or anxieties, or feeling like you're held back or suppressed, I know that that brings up frustration for me, right? I definitely do not like to be suppressed in any way. So I have found it very helpful to work with that frustration of suppression in my system, and find any ways that I can bring more freedom to my system where I felt suppressed. Okay. So if I can't work on that one thing right now, what can I do? Okay, what can I do to help me feel more free? Go for a walk, sing, dance, clean, whatever, right? Okay. I love you. Again, I hope this was helpful on some level. As always, I love to hear from you, and hope you have a beautiful rest of your day, loves.